Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hong Kong FinTech Week 2021, it's about to start. And we will be opening our global stage very soon. So make sure that you grab your seats and be ready for this wonderful day too. Good morning, everyone. Joe-san, I hope that you are ready for day 2 because we are about to start in a few minutes. So make sure you grab your seats, you're comfortable, and you're ready for all the wonderful speakers and magnificent content that we have for you. Hong Kong FinTech Week 2021. Scaling FinTech future together is about to start. Be ready, learn, connect, and grow. morning, Joe-san. How are you today? Thank you for being here. Hong Kong FinTech Week, Day 2. We have such an amazing lineup of speakers and interesting content today. And for those who are online with us too, thank you for joining. We are here physically in Hong Kong at the Convention Center, but we are also around the world. My name is Jamilette, and I'm the MC again for Day 2. And if you have seen the agenda, you know why I'm so excited. And every time I'm backstage watching that video, I get even more excited. FinTech future, we are scaling it together. And we are growing, we are learning, and hopefully you are connecting and building strong relationships, because today, you are already creating impact, one step forward. And reminder, as I said before, for those online, we're streaming our event through our event official partner app, swapcard.so. Thank you again to all of our partners, our sponsors, the event organizers, co-organizers, and obviously for you to be here. Reminders, quickly, if you haven't downloaded the app, but I'm sure you have, please do so. Hong Kong FinTech Week 21. And when you have the app, you can also go to the networking at the DL floor. Tomorrow, we have our conference. It's still online, and we have more than 70 master classes. Yes, you heard properly, 70 master classes available. Don't forget to hashtag us, HKFTW. And last but not least, if you need any translation services, you can get the headsets at the back of the stage with SI channel #1 for English and #2 for Mandarin. Well, we are about to start. Are we ready? I'm sure you are. And once again today, we are very honored and pleased to have our speaker give us his welcoming remarks, and he's here, Mr. Edward Yao. He's Secretary of Commerce and Development for Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. So please welcome him here on stage.
Good morning. For those who attend Day 1, welcome back. For those who are joining us now, a bigger welcome, because I think you must be attracted by the agenda, the very spectacular program covering quite a wide spectrum of things. So I'm here to welcome all who join us for this FinTech Week in Hong Kong, and in fact, as the MC mentioned, for the world as well. Well, I think to host a physical event while the world is still suffering from the pandemic is quite a challenge, but Hong Kong has made it. I think, well, for the policy of guarding against import of pandemic, for all the sort of compliance of every citizen here in town by way of social distancing and also a lot of hygiene conditions, I think we have made it that, well, conferences, exhibitions, economic activities are coming back. Well, but the major challenge in front of us, both in the startup world and the wider sort of traditional economy, has all along been a lot of barriers, hiccups, and sometimes geopolitics also come into being. So I think in my welcoming remarks today, I want to sort of create another sort of dimension that, well, instead of going into the area you're all familiar with, let's sit back a bit to look at the wider world. What are the challenges in front of, in sort of creating barrier? Recently, I think in recent years, we heard about the geo-economic term of decoupling. But I think the FinTech ecology in Hong Kong is a clear demonstration of the success of coupling. Hong Kong is a financial center, an international financial center, but I think technology do play an increasing part, not just supporting this industry per se, but try to marry the two into a new sort of platform, FinTech. And there's no coincidence that among the 3,755 startup companies we surveyed this year, FinTech topped the league table by having over 600 companies in this segment of the startup business. And among the 3,700 startup firms in Hong Kong, 1/3 of them come from outside Hong Kong, including firms that relocate to Hong Kong, including some of the Hong Kong startup started somewhere and came back to Hong Kong. Well, I understand what this industry is all about, sort of attraction, clustering, and the multiplier effect. I think there must be certain attraction that make Hong Kong one of the favorite destinations of startup industries, including FinTech. It must be the capability of research, both deep research and applied research, which is one of the strengths Hong Kong has. Look at the 5 to 6 sort of, top 100 universities in Hong Kong. And they're also expanding their second campus into the Greater Bay Area, which is the top of the town in this part of the world. It must also be the ease and availability of financing, which nurture startup industry in Hong Kong. Not to mention that, well, within the FinTech sector, there are a lot of excitement in sort of bringing technology into this fast-growing sort of services. And not confining to tech, but also professional services, which in itself is also undergoing a lot of transformation. But I think the coupling effect does not only confine to between financial services and I&T. It actually covers the entire spectrum of our economic strength. Look at Hong Kong and our neighboring 9 cities in an area we call the Greater Bay Area. There was a huge synergy between Hong Kong and Shenzhen as a twin city, between Hong Kong and the 9 cities, which operate under 2 systems within the one country, and also the tremendous strength that we have built up in sharing the talent across the boundary, as well as attracting talents around the world to this particular area. In my recent conversation with almost all the chambers of commerce coming from outside Hong Kong, their prime focus is how to tap on this growing market of Greater Bay Area. But when I talk about the synergy between Hong Kong and GBA, let's not forget that we are also at the coupling of 2 engines given by our nation, which is the Belt and Road, which signify the countries going out to the wider world, weathering all the storms, undoing as much barrier as we could. But at the same time, closer to home, the Greater Bay Area, which provide a very fertile soil for a lot of mushrooming industries, startup, as well as reforming of traditional industry. Now, in making this coupling work, of course, I think the major impetus comes from our connection with the mainland. But let's not forget, even in the 14th five-year plan rolled out by our nation recently, the 8 centers that Hong Kong is tasked to perform, including the International Financial Center, Navigation Center, Aviation Hub, I&T Center, they are also the dimension of international interaction. So while we further integrate into the mainland as the major impetus for growth, we are not losing sight of the international dimension where you are all contributing. And also, there is tremendous synergy among these 8 centers. I mentioned 4, which are more traditional ones. The sort of more common one, like financial services, trading, and navigation and aviation. But let's look at even the newer role that Hong Kong perform, including IP Trading Center, Intellectual Property Rights, and also East Meets West Arts and Cultural Hub. Now, all these would also have a very interesting dimension if we look at NFT these days, blockchain. So even in the sort of art and tech, they would have an interface with the financial aspect as well. So all this says that, well, we are in a new world where Hong Kong, though we are small, but with the strength that we all possess, I think there is tremendous strength for us to couple with each other to resonate on this fast development that we are enjoying. So with these remarks, I sort of congratulate FinTech Week in Hong Kong, making a success in both physical launching as well as connecting the wider world through internet. And I would give a word of applause to all the distinguished speakers that are helping us to make this happen. So with all these remarks, have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Mr. Yao. Very